All right, here's a quick lesson on some basic features of the TI-84. Okay, let's say you want to reduce fractions, right? So let's say you have 80 over 160, okay? And you want to reduce that fraction. So type in 80 over 160, hit enter, and go math, enter, enter. You'll take it to 1/2. So if you have a decimal that you want to convert to a fraction, you can go, there's two ways you can do it. You can just go put the decimal down like that, and then go math, enter, enter. That'll do it. Or you can go like this, and you can go math, frac. So you're going to take that 0.25, and you're going to take it and make it a fraction. All right, there it is. All right, graphing. Well, actually, before we talk about graphing, let's talk about putting down old answers. So let's say you're going to do 6 times 6. Okay, you got that answer to be 36. Now you want to add 5 to that answer. You can go 5 plus previous answer right there. Enter, enter again. All right, so you did 5 plus 36. You could also do, let's say you want to add 41 to your next answer. You can go 9 plus second answer. So the second button, which is blue, activates the alternate option for this button here, which is the answer, which is your last answer. So that answer right there is that 41 right there. So right now you're doing 9 plus previous answer. There you go. If you want to multiply that by something we did earlier, so like 50 times 1/4, right there, 50 times 1/4, 25 over 2. Okay, let's see, what else can you do on this calculator? Let's say you want to graph something. So, before we do that, let's say you want to plug a number in to like an equation. Let's say you have an equation like 3x to the power of 2 plus 2x plus 77. And you want to plug a number into this equation. You can do it on paper, and then punch in, you can write it down and then punch all the individual things in. Or you can put the number that you want to plug in, you can store into your calculator as x. So you would go 2, like let's say you want to plug in 17. So it's 17, store as x, enter. Okay, now 17, the number 17 is stored as the variable x. So you write down, if I put x down, enter, it's 17. What's 17 plus 3? That's 20. So that means that x plus 3 should also be 20. Okay, there you go. So now that we have x stored as 17, I can go back over here, bring down my equation, hit enter, and I just plugged in 17 everywhere there was an x. So that's the same thing as doing 3 times 17, I'll just do it like this, to the power of 2 plus 2 times 17 plus 77, 978. Let's say I want to plug in 0.7, or yeah, 0.7 into this equation right there. Well, now it's very easy because I can just go 0.7, store as x. Now x is 0.7, so I can go up over here, bring down my equation. Now 0.7 has been replaced for x. So this is a really cool way to plug things in, especially if they have negative signs in them, so you don't get your signs all messed up. So you could have like, oh, negative 2.2. Right, store that as x. Enter. Go right here, plug that into my equation, 87.12. Okay, let's talk about graphing, using the graphing feature. So let me bring this in. Right here. All right, so we're going to graph this quadratic equation right here. All right, so let me delete this. All right, so y equals negative 2x to the power of 2. Now you can do power of 2 like this, or you can just use the square button, which is right here. Same thing. All right, minus 12x plus 18. All right, and let's hit the graph button. There's our graph. Notice our graph's kind of cut off. It's supposed to be a parabola. It's an upside down parabola, but we can't see the top of it. All right, so let's just go to Window, which is right here. And right, let me go back out. Let's go to this graph. So it looks like, I mean, if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, looks like my highest y value right there is 10. I go here. Oh yeah, my y minimum is negative 10. All right, so that's negative 10. Go back to Window. My maximum is 10. Let's change it. Let's make y maximum 30. All right, so let's go here. Let's make this 30. Let's go ahead and graph this. A little better. Still can't see the top. So let's go ahead and go Window. And let's make this 50. Graph it. Much better. Okay, so there's the graph right here. Let's say you want to find that maximum value right there. So how high that y value goes, or the y value of the vertex. You're going to go to Second, Calculate, go Maximum right here, and left bound. So we're going to get the left part of the maximum, left part of that crest right there. Hit Enter. All right, got the left part of it. Let's go to the right part of that crest. Right there. Enter. Now it says guess. Just hit Enter again. And we got it. The maximum value is 36. That's the y value. And it occurs at negative 2.99, basically negative 3. So at negative 3 on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, y is 36. Okay, let's say you want to find these intercepts. You want to find this x-intercept right here, this x-intercept right here. Okay, you're going to go Second, Calculate, Intersect, Enter, and first curve. So we're going to go ahead and, sorry, I messed up on that. If you're going to find the intercepts, you want to find the zeros. All right, so you're going to go to Second, Calculate, 0. Okay, so left bound, so there are two zeros. That's one zero, that's the other 0. So if we want to get this leftmost 0 right here, so we're going to go right to the left of it, which is right there. Hit Enter. Now the right bound, you're going to get right to the right of it, which is right above it. Hit Enter. Guess again, and we found it to be negative 7.24. All right, so you're going to go over here. I'm just going to write that down. I'm going to draw it actually. Go like that, like that. So we found this right here to be negative 7.24. All right, now let's find this other one over here. All right, so Second, Calculate, 0. All right, and let's go over here. Great. So left bound, this time the left side of where this intersects the y-axis will be on the upper part of it. Enter, right bound, right there. That's on the right part of where it intersects the x-axis. Then enter again for guess. And we found it to be 1.24. All right, so over here we have 1.24. I'm also going to pull up that maximum again. So we're going to go Second, Calculate, Maximum. If it went the other way, it'd be a minimum. And we're going to get that left bound right here. All right. And let's get that right bound right here. Okay. Guess. Okay, so it's kind of weird, but it's 3. I don't know why it does like negative 2.9999999 and negative 3.0000001. It's 3. So it's going to be 3 comma 36. So this point right here is 3 comma 36 over 3 up 36. Okay, so this is pretty handy because these right here are the same answers that the quadratic formula will give you. So we're going to talk about using the quadratic formula right now. So here is the quadratic formula. And let's go ahead and, well, here is the quadratic formula right here. Okay, and the answer to the quadratic formula are the x-intercepts, also known as the zeros, also known as the roots. So this right here are these two values, which is why there's a plus minus right there. Okay, so we're going to put this in the calculator, and I already wrote down our a, b, and c. So our a is -2 because the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. So this a right here is -2. Um, the b right here is -12, and the c is 18. Okay, so we're going to write down negative b, which is -12. I'll just write everything down first. So negative b is positive 12, right? It's the opposite of -12. So positive 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared. And you can actually, well, I'll just put it as negative, but you don't actually have to put the negative in there because you're going to square it, so it'll be positive anyway. But -12 squared minus 4 times a, which is -2, times c, which is 18, okay, all over 2a, like that. Now, a lot of students kind of mess this up because the calculator strictly follows orders of operations. So if you type this in like this in your calculator, right, and without the parentheses, you're going to get that wrong. See, if I go like this and I go -12 to the power of 2, well, we know it's -12 times -12, so it should be positive 144. But if we enter it like that, it says -144. Because what the calculator is thinking is that you're doing this. Invisible -1 times 12 to the power of 2. So the calculator is doing 12 to the power of 2, then multiplying it by invisible -1. So to avoid that, you put your negative in parentheses. So -12 to the power of 2, like that, then you don't make that mistake. Okay, so, but back to the quadratic formula with the calculator. So what you want to do is you just want to type in this entire bottom part. I like to do it without the root, actually, just in case it becomes, because I kind of like to see it without the root. So just type it in without the root, and then do the root afterwards. So I would just go like this. I would go -12, and just type it just like you see it too. So -12 to the power of 2 minus 4 times -2 times 18. There. So this is everything under the root. So -12 to the power of 2 minus 4. And oh, and the minus and the negative button are two separate buttons. So don't accidentally make a mistake of putting a negative right there, because I think that won't work. Oh, it will work. Never mind. Sometimes it doesn't work. So be careful. So what we want to do is minus. Okay, so -4 times, let's see, did I get this right? -4 times -2 times 18. Okay. And I did -12 right. See, -12 in the parentheses, then squaring it. And there is, oh, well, look at that. It's a different answer because this one, does it look exactly the same? It does, because this one has the minus and this one has the negative. And let's see here, what would happen if we just brought this answer down right here, made this other problem, and we went over here. I'm just kind of curious. And if we inserted parentheses, went over here and inserted, or put parentheses right here. There, you get that giant number. So by accidentally putting a negative right there, the calculator thinks you're multiplying. thinks that you're doing this times all of this stuff. So it's very important that you put the minus in there. There. So 288. So what we have now is this. We have 12 plus or minus the square root of 288 over negative 2, or negative 4. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, so from here, if you want to simplify this, you can try to square root it. So you can say, like, well, actually, let's just do the whole thing to decimal. So I'm going to go like that, and I can bring up this answer and put that in the root if I want. And there it is, 16.97. All right, so I'll write that in there. So 12 plus or minus 16.97. Don't forget, don't take off the root because we took the square root, right? So no more root. Over negative 4. Cool. Okay, from this step, to make things easier, I would split the fractions. I'm going to split these two problems up. So the first problem is negative 12 plus 16.97 over negative 4. And the other one is, sorry, that should be a negative 12, just 12. 12 plus 16.97 over negative 4. And then the next one is 12 minus 16.97 over negative 4. Okay, so if you want to do this in one shot, like this left one right here on the calculator, you could do parentheses and 12 plus 16.97 close parentheses divided by negative 4, and we have the answer, negative 7.24, negative 7.24. So we have x equals that, which is what we got with our graphing calculator up here. We got that earlier, right there. All right, so now let's do the other one. Could be lazy. I could be really lazy. I could just go like that, and then go over here and put a minus. It's the same thing, right? Go over there. 1.24. All right, so x equals 1.24. Highlight this one, highlight this one, and those are our two x-intercepts, which is what we got with the graphing calculator here. Also, remember we found this over here, this 3 over 36. All right, so if you have a math problem that asks you to find the vertex or to find the maximum, all right, so let's get our quadratic equation, which is right here. So we found it with the graphing calculator, which is pretty cool. We could also find it by hand by doing finding the x value of the vertex. So if the graph looks like this, we're going to find the x value that corresponds to this point. So we're going to find that value first, which would be right here. So we're going to find that right now. So x equals, we're going to use this formula, negative b over 2a. All right, so negative b is, well, remember it's ax, let me do a different color. So we're going to do ax squared plus bx plus c. So our negative b is opposite sign this right here. So it's 12 over, so negative b, so it's just negative 12, which is positive 12 over 2a, and a is negative 2. So negative 2. So 12, do it over here. So 12 over negative 4. So x equals negative 3. So that means that this value right here is negative 3. That's the x value of the vertex, which means that should not be there. I'm going to draw it in a better way. Okay, draw it like that. All right, so that's negative 3. We'll pretend that that's, let me just do it better. Hold on one second. All right, negative 3. Cool. So negative 3 is the x value of the vertex. And we got that with our maximum in the calculator earlier. Oh, hold on 1 second. So I just realized that I wrote this down incorrectly right here. The calculator said this was negative 3. And if you go over here, second, calculate maximum, right there, you can see it right there. Negative 3 and 35. So that should have been negative 3, which meant it's on the other side. Okay. So you go over here. So the math was actually right over here. So negative 3, that's that. Great. Now what you want to do is you want to plug in that into the y. You want to plug this in for x into the original quadratic equation. And when you plug that in for x right there, you're going to get the corresponding y value right there, which we know is already 36. All right, so y equals negative 2 times negative 3 squared minus 12 times negative 3 plus 18. Okay, and if you are worried about messing up your signs and stuff, we could store x as negative 3. I can go negative 3, store as x, right there, and I could type that in just like I see it. So I can just go negative 2x to the power of 2 minus 12x plus 18, 36. Or we can do it the traditional way without plugging in as x, storing it as x, and you just go negative 2, parentheses, negative 3 closed to the power of 2, scoot to the right, minus 12 times negative 3 close minus or plus, this looks horrible, plus 18, 36. All right, cool. So that means that this value right here is 36. Okay, a couple of other things. If you hate having to write your fractions like this, like let's say you want to do like 3 plus 2 squared over 7 plus 4 to the power of 8. And you are just not comfortable writing it like this, like parentheses, 3 plus 2 to the power of 2, close parentheses, over parentheses, 7 plus 4 to the power of 8, close, so 3 plus 2 to the power of 2 over 7 plus 4 to the power of 8. Okay, that's that answer right there. And let's say that you just you're not really comfortable going from there, doing all the parentheses, and going there. Well, you can hit alpha y, which is a shortcut to this right here. And this puts you like on fraction mode. And this fraction mode looks just like it looks here, or like it look in your textbook. The other way to get to that pretty fraction mode is to go math, frac, right there, and hit the first one. That'll take you there too. Just don't do it on top of the existing fraction that you already did. So the shortcut though is just to go alpha y right there. Long way to do it is just go math, scoot to the right, oops, scoot to the right, there it is right there. Okay, once you have it like that, then you can actually just type it in just like you see it right here. All right, so we can go 3 plus 2 squared over 7 plus 4 to the power of 8. And then we can just confirm, all right, is that what we're looking at? Yep, that's what we're looking at. Go ahead and enter that in. And there's our answer, which is, see if it's up there, the same as what we got before. Okay, let's see, is there anything else? Okay, if you want to look at a table of values, if you have an equation like this, right? And you got to plug in some points. Let's say you got to plug in like, you want to plug in like 1. You want to plug in 3. Okay, you can go, we already have this equation typed in here, right? We already graphed it. You can go second graph, which is accessing the table right there, and you can see, oh, when x is 1, y is 4. That's the same exact thing as plugging 1 right into here. You'll get 4. Oh, when x is 3, y is negative 36. Oh, x is 3, y is negative 36. But what about when x is 6.5? I don't see that there. I see 6, I see 7, no problem. Go to second calculate. It's not the trace, it's calculate, which is up there. You'll access it with the second button. And go to value, your first one. Okay, well, let's type in, I'm curious about x is 6.5. So you type in 6.5 right here. Enter. Oh, y is negative 144.5. All right, so that means this right here is negative 144.5. Okay, and last thing. Let's say you want to use the intersect feature. So you want to find where, like, let's say where a line intersects with the graph. All right, so you go over here, y equals, and we'll type our line down here. So we'll type in, let's try y equals 3x plus 10 graph. There. So the line is intersecting our graph right there and down there, but can't quite see it down there, so let's go ahead and change our window. Just go to window, and let's make our y minimum a little bit lower. I'll make it negative 20. There, now I can clearly see it. All right, so go to, let's see, second, calculate. Now we're going to use intersect right here. Okay, so let's find out, let's do the left one first. So I'm going to go all the way over here. It says first curve. I'm going to go to the left of it. So you want to get to the left of that point of intersection. Enter. Second curve, go to the right. Go right there. Hope I'm doing that right. Right there. And hit enter again. Did I do it right? Wait, let me try this again. Second, calculate, intersect. Okay, so first curve, clearly I'm on the, wait, let me lower this so you can really see it. Let's make the y minimum negative 30. All right, that's good. All right, second, calculate, intersect. Go over here. So first curve, blue curve. So it knows, all right, that's the blue curve. That's what we're talking about. Second curve is the red curve. It kind of already put it there. So just say, okay, yeah, that's what I want. Guess. Bam. Intersection is negative 8, comma, negative 14. All right, so you have that point of intersection right there. So negative 8, comma, negative 14. If you want to get this other point of intersection, no problem. Second, calculate, intersect. All right, first curve, I'm going to go way over here. So you're not getting before and after, actually. You're telling it which curve we're talking about. So you're like, all right, first curve, the blue one. The second curve, it's like, is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Guess, intersect. All right, so the second point of intersection is 0.5, comma, 11.5. So if you're ever doing like system of equations, when you have like two linear equations, and you're finding the x and the y that they have in common, that's what you're doing. You're finding where they intersect. All right, that's all.